What's up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5X. Today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the top 5 the characters that I do think you guys should be investing into in the upcoming updates. Now, this is something that's totally opinionated as always. You guys, you can take this with a grain of salt. They're merely just recommendations. And I think these are more characters that a lot of people who are going for these said 5 stars are really not only just going to enjoy as a character, but have tons of different uses for, deciding on at least how they're going to use this unit. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for all the support on the last few videos here. I'm going to keep it on pushing. So immediately starting off with our first few characters, the one thing I gotta say is this is mainly, as I did say before, opinionated. It's kind of like tier list here, where I'm mainly recommending stuff. You don't have to take it fully seriously. And I'm doing this as near future. This isn't going to be past like 4.0 to some extent. This is mainly going to be like 4.0 downwards. So our highest character on this list is going to be Ange, but it's going to be below her. So do look forward to that. The rest of the characters, of course, I'll have separate videos for, but let's go ahead and talk about it here. So for the number 5 character that I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy pulling for or even investing into, I would say this is going to be Kazumi. Now, Kazumi is one of the few characters inside this game that I've talked about quite a lot. And the main reason here is because she's not only our first single target blessed DPS, but she is the first unit to be able to crit on her highlight. If you guys have noticed it, especially with playing this game here, you're not ever critting on your highlights here. They're usually just doing raw damage. And she is one of the few characters who's able to do this. Alongside of this here, she's one of the other few characters who came with a very unique type mechanic here, and that is her posture stacks that allows her to go into a form named the Masquerade form. Inside of this here, she's pretty much making herself deal tons more damage here, and also alongside of this, it allows you to deal a highlights move, but not essentially your highlight, if you guys get what I mean. Pretty much she's able to use her Masquerade form to pop her highlight, but then you can technically pop it again later on down the line. It's gonna be an interesting type thing to explain when she does come out here, but she pretty much just makes it so she's dealing too much dang damage, and we all noticed it the second she came out. She's also one of the first characters to have something like colossal damage, and this is going to be part of her skill 3, which we'll talk more about as well. But if you guys can take a look on my screen here, you should be able to see her skill set effect here, and this is mainly going to be with her skill 1, skill 2, and skill 3. Skill 1 being the Glimmer of Night is mainly your one that you're going to be using to get a brave step, and you will be using all of her skills, by the way, in her entire rotation. She's able to get brave step, easily get these stacks off, and pretty much allowing her to just deal some extra damage. Well, the cool part about using this first skill here is if you use Dancing in Hand and have a dance partner, not only are you amplifying your attack, but on the second turn that you end up using the first skill here, because it usually goes skill 2 on the first turn, second turn goes the skill 1. On that second turn, you're actually able to get a follow-up attack off of this as well, which can deal some very high damage. Alongside with her skill 3, which is the one that does the colossal damage here, she's able to deal some interesting type damage here if you're inside the Masquerade form, increasing your skill damage by 30% and crit damage by 30% pretty much as well. Now her highlight, it does tell you right here that she's going to be dealing some crazy amount of damage, but if she has Brave Step and Agile Step, which is what you want inside of this whole character's rotation, she's able to increase her highlight skill damage by 15% and increase her highlight crit rate by 10% and crit damage by 20%. So this is one of the few characters I say a lot of people should really invest in. She's going to be a heavy hitting unit, and a good part about her is you don't truly need her 5-star weapon. You can use the 4-star weapon. It's insanely good as well. And I would say either way, you're still going to be hitting either near the mill or either over mill. So I mean, like, this character definitely is a good character to invest in. You can kind of brute force a lot of things, especially when she does drop, whether it's bosses, memento, mini bosses, anything, palaces, you name it. She probably can try to one tap it. In fact, I think we might use her a little bit for the next huge update. So either way, you want to have this character, but she's number 5 to invest in. And so we're going to move on to our next character. The next character that we will be talking about in today's video is going to be number 4, being Rico. Now, Rico is one of the few characters that is just hands down, everyone should get this character. And no, this isn't like a must summon video. That was yesterday's video, so blah blah blah. This is not me telling you to get these units at all, because personally I'm skipping Kazumi. But with this in mind here, Rico is another character that I feel like a lot of people should try to invest in. This is because her unique ability of being a crit damage buffer. We don't have many crit damage buffers in this game, or at least at this time period we don't have any, pretty much, besides Leon, which, hey, the man gets the job done. But Rico does something a little bit better. She's able to help out with your crit rates, your crit damage bonuses, also able to debuff the enemy, making them take way more crit damage taken if you have the A1. She's able to recover her SP and use said SP to get even more crit damage factors. So she does a little bit of everything inside of this whole kit, and the good part about her is, to be honest, she doesn't have too many downsides. The cons about this character in general is just that she just needs to make sure she has her her stats in check, and if she has her stats in check, she's easily able to buff you as much as possible. Now, I will say something here with this character. There are 2 ways to use her. You can use a 1 or you can use a 0. The main part about her is where she kind of has a downside is her A1 is a huge quality of life that makes her being able to be used in tons of different teams without being bounded by the factor of wind elements or wind attributes, while her A0 makes it so she's bound by the said wind factor. The good part about this is even if you don't have the A1, she is still allowed to go into multiple different teams. She just won't get that extra benefit that the A1 does grant, which is like, I think it was around like what's called 25% on our damage, and then around like 35% crit damage taken. I have to check that when we look back at it at lefel.net, but it's something around that marker there. So here, just freaking insane. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of her skills. So if we check out her skills, being of course Wind of Vitality, Under Umbrella, and Fragrance of Time, this is another character where you're going to use all of her skills for the most part. If you are A1, you're usually using the skill 1 and skill 3, because now you're no longer bound by that wind element, and you're easily getting, obviously, all the buffs that you do need. Now, if you're a person who is not going for the A1, you're sticking with A0, you usually are using skill 2, skill 3, and that's mainly because you're getting your attack buffs, or at least your crit damage buff immediately that you can get based with your attack, of course, and then you're immediately getting that lovely crit damage buff based on the amount of SP you have, and it just consistently allows you to keep your SP up while also draining your SP, getting the most buffs that you can get out of this. Now, all in all, this character is going to be good no matter how you use her. I would definitely say if you would and you had the extra currency, get the A1, because yeah, as I said before, yeah, it makes it so she no longer has to worry about that wind damage selection. It's just elemental damage, and then it also makes it so she does crit damage taken by 30% whenever she does hit the main target, and then increases your 25% attack based on the thief that you're using. Now, this character is in an interesting spot because obviously in the TW versions, she has another one, or either we have another crit damage buffer being S Marion, but this character, a lot of people are seeming that they don't want to really invest in because of S Marion's existence, when that's just not the case. Both of these units are going to be useful in their own ways here, so getting both of them would be a great decision on you, especially since you have multiple teams and you're going to need to have multiple different substitutions depending on the team at hand. Rico definitely makes this very known, and you're going to want to use this character quite often, making her my top 4 for investing in when it does come down to the characters. All right, so I had to stop myself from yapping, but as for our top 3, this one honestly should have been the top 4 and Rico should have been 3, but it would be Matoi. Now, Matoi is one of the few characters that I am very iffy on pulling myself. I'm probably not going to pull her on my global one because Matoi, as good as she is, I would like to run her at a performance that requires her A1. Now, granted, she still works perfectly fine at A0. The only downside is her main deal with her skill 3. The enhancer variant of it is just going to not be used until like the 4th round, I think it is, because her rotation is like 1-3-1-3. To get that 3rd actual rotation off, or at least that 2nd little part of her 3rd skill off, you will have to wait till like the 4th round to get it because her stacks work a little funky. Now, This character is insanely good. Don't get it twisted. She's awesome. She does a little bit of everything. She sustains you. She has the best debuffs in the game, I think, besides Katayama. And she's insanely good. She's really nice. She helps with shielding. She freezes the enemy. Everything you really want in a debuffer, she can pretty much do. And she helps out with technicals, which are going to be a nice thing to have, seeing that they can do additional effects. She's pretty much a crucial defender, or sorry, a crucial debuffer. If you are looking for just a debuffer in general to have, she's probably your go-to. Now, the reason why I don't go for this character is, one, she is a little bit bound on that A1 to me having what I deem as the full kit. Now, to most people, hey, that's not deemed as a full kit. You got the full kit at A0, but me being the me and actually seeing that I want that enhanced skill 3, and I want it consistently, you know, the A1 technically is needed with that, because that's the only way you're going to be getting that consistent amount of stacks from turn 1 to turn 3. Now, another reason that I don't feel like this character is fully needed is because, yes, she can be used in all AoE based teams, but for the ones that she strikingly does the best in, it's usually going to be with Ren Lion Dance, and that's going to be because of the technicals. Not many characters are able to trigger her technicals, and that's actually a decent part of her kit. But I mean, like, hey, if you don't care about the technical proccing and stuff like that, obviously you would just get the character for the debuffs that she does provide. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it, and let's just get straight into it, because this one I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate on me about. Now, for the skill 1, skill 3, well, skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, you won't usually use the skill 2 to my knowledge, and that's because Ice Seal doesn't work on certain mobs here, so it's not really contributing a ton to her. But her skill 1 and her skill 3, that's usually where you're going to see a lot of her usage. Main reason is because she's able to inflict freeze, she's able to take down defense, she's able to increase her technical mastery, and if she is triggering her said technicals, she gets different effects. Even with the skill 3 here, she's providing herself different stacks, which are allowing her to then consume said stacks, not only to decrease the enemy's defense, but if we are consuming a certain stack, we're able to then also get a different effect and also do a different move, because there's different parts of this character, which is kind of interesting here, where she has bursting waterfall, but then she has bursting waterfall tornado. Now, both of these are going to be very, very helpful. They're both going to be very interesting skills, but the only way to get the bursting waterfall tornado to actually proc is if you do have 4 whole stacks, which can be a little bit of a problem. Now, essentially, you're getting everything that you want out of this character. You have more than enough that you need here, and she's not hard to build. She's actually a really easy character to build. It's just this unit, instead of being very like versatile with being with multiple teams here, I would only use her with AoE teams, and even then, that's a stretch to me, just because I would kind of only use her if I'm like heavily investing into AoE like that. Other than that, I'm kind of just staying away from this character. Like, I got her, she gets here. I would say if you want to just make sure to invest into her, I would definitely just advise you guys to get her once and then just dip out. You don't even need to have her weapons, from what I remember, because I remember at one point her weapons were like iffy on whether we should go for it, whether we should not. That's mainly because both weapons do offer EHR, so you technically can be fine with just the EHR that you have for the 4-star, but honestly, it's up to you. Another good part about this is during this update as well, or I think it was right after CNY, we did get Throne not long ago. So technically you still can proc her technicals if you are using Throne, but I mean, like, it's honestly up to you if you do decide to do this as well. Now, I still say, even though I don't agree with pulling this character on my global account, I do say she is a good character to invest in, and I've talked about this character quite a lot in the last few days. But without further ado, we're gonna go on to our top 2 character, and I'm pretty sure we're not gonna get any competition on this one. Now, our second character that's going to be happening here is actually a navigator, and that is going to be Ange. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. If Ange is his number 2, who's number 1? And we'll get to that later on. But for number 2 here, Ange is one of the few characters that is quite literally, you miss this unit, you are in some trouble. Main reason because she still is the best Navi in the game. with Fuka even added in. Fuka is a top tier Navi, seeing that she's able to swap in a 5th character, obviously, but still it's not enough to make her the absolute top tier unit unless you're just max duping Fuka. But even then, max dupe Fuka versus max dupe Anj, I think it's very neck and neck, and I think Anj still comes out on top. Now, with this in mind here, the reason that I feel like a lot of you guys should go for Anj is pretty just explanatory. Well, it kind of just explains itself here. You get yourself tons of pin, you got tons of buffs that's off of it. If you ended up going for the crit rate dupe that is her A1, obviously you get a lot of things out of that as well. If you end up taking it a step further and going for the A2, which I know a lot of you guys have already told me you're going for, not only are you getting the crit rate buff, but you're getting yourself a revive, which is really nice to have, because I think our only other revive characters were like Morgana with his highlight, and then we have A6 Marion, who is able to do a revive. So seeing that there's a character who's able to give your whole party at least one revive at A2 was a huge deal when she ended up dropping. Now, this character herself, she's not only able to do this, but her support stats are actually insanely good to just give over, as well as the effect to be able to give an extra turn to any DPS you want to, or any character you want to, was a major thing for this unit. So let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit on her skills. With her skill 1, 2, and 3, you're usually going to be using them all here. But the skill 1 and 3 is what most people at A0 are going to be using. Main reason for this is because she's able to gain her stacks pretty easily. She's able to buff up your party's damage and attack. And then she's also able to make sure that your pierce rate is going to be insanely high based on her attack points. All of this stuff is going to be absolutely helping out your team in total. And with her 2 passives being Grace and Resilience, Grace is also helping out your attack percentage based on Myriad Song, which is going to be procced no matter how you see it. And then Resilience here, based on the amount of holy stacks you have, you're always getting up your pierce rate. So pierce and attack related stats you will never need to worry about. You will always have this in the back of your disposal. And what makes this character even better is, on the off chance you need some healing, her skill 2 is giving you some nice healing, which is going to be freaking awesome to use. So all of this combined together is like making her already just the most busted thing on earth. And the more awarenesses you get, the more she becomes even more disgusting. So this character is probably going to be the best for a very long time. And if you invested into this unit, I say without a doubt, you will be the happiest person alive, mainly because you just won't need to replace her. You won't need to replace her. She pretty much goes in any team that needs some form of pin. And even her weapons are very hard to miss. Like the 4-star weapon is decent, but that 5-star weapon just changes the game over entirely. See, now you're able to give yourself crit damage as well. So she has attack percent, increased damage, crit damage, healing, pierce, you name it. This character literally lays it out on the table and says, I got it. So I feel like a lot of you guys definitely want to invest into this unit. She's going to be very, very helpful. And I think that's all I really got to say about this one. But let's get to the number 1 unit that we need to talk about today. And that is going to be, well, we don't know. That is going to be the mystery unit that is happening on Global and all of the servers, I think, for 2.7. Global itself is getting a 2.7 update, and it's kind of scary. I've been brought up about it quite a lot in my comment section, where people are like, what if this changes our pool plans? What if this does this? And to be honest, I don't blame you for being scared, because it came out of nowhere. We don't know what exactly they're planning. We don't know exactly what's going to go down, if it's going to be like a information sync, if apparently TW and KR are going to get a new character and it happens to sync up with Global on that one for that one update. And it's kind of scary to see something like that happen, because it does change a lot of plans. Hence the reason why I put it as the number 1 priority right now on who to invest in, because 9 times out of 10, if it is a character that all the servers are going to be sharing, this character is going to be insane. Now, we have seen some, of course, things that are on the TW side of things that are no longer leaks. This has been, of course, put into the game. These things are being the twins in their icon. There has been a lot of talk about them being into the game, and they may be the shared unit, and the reason that Global is getting a new version. But overall, we don't know just yet, so we can only speculate. So I feel like a lot of you guys, if you guys want to at least have your thoughts on this as well, let me know down below in the comment section. Who do you feel like the new character is going to be for 2.7? Are you excited? And do you think they're going to be a must invest unit? But for now, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.